And we are slightly behind schedule, but we are back. Me, Husky, and apparently my dog in the background getting comfortable. Husky, how you feeling going into week 4 after a little bit of a break?
Yeah, it was a good break. Got some a little bit of content out, got some rest. Hopefully these teams got some rest up. Practice on some stuff because you know, we had some teams with some issues, but they should be good now. And we got a banger tonight. We got two teams tied for second overall, and only one's going to remain second after tonight and really prove themselves to be in that top tier. So it's exciting.
Yeah, two of, I think most people would agree, top 3 teams, at least for now. I don't know. I mean, both teams have lost, so we'll see as we're only just getting close to halfway through the split. So uh, potentially some exposure here tonight. We'll have to see. Or maybe it's a finals preview. I don't know. But we are through the first phase bans. We have the Akali, Scion, and Soraka taken off the board. So 3 different roles catching some bans there. As that's Akali top ban, Scion mid ban. Fun fact of the day. And then 3 different roles on the other side as well. Alistar, Mel, and Wukong taken away with the Yunara first pick.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of getting a little bit of respect thrown their way. Definitely some people's mains taken off the board early on. Here at Rivals League, for those unfamiliar, we are Fearless and Iron Man, so those bans are gone forever, the whole series. Cannot be played, and including everyone you see being picked right now. The Galio and Nami going to be the first 2 picks for Honmoon, our defending champs. Usually not the positions that you see taken early on, but I guess Galio could be flexed a little bit. Usually you see ADC and jungles come off the board a little bit early, though. So mid support coming out early seems a little weird, but they're the defending champs and I'm not, so maybe they know.
Yeah, I mean, Galio taken off the board. I think we've seen a lot of Ornn getting taken off early. But it's actually going to be Galio, assuming it's mid, right? Nami support. Galio, I guess, could go top. Maybe Key will spice it up like he did a couple of splits ago and pull out a random champion in a random role. But gonna expect Galio mid for Pandorum. Blind pick Nami. I think Nami's super strong right now. Karma equally good into it. I think maybe Karma's a better blind, I guess. But we'll have to see potential Nocturne. So a lot of engage there. Obviously, you have some disengage with Galio and Nami both. So I'm actually, like, if you're in OH, I think you're okay with the Nocturne pick. Because now you can pick a little bit of a safer AD carry if you want to. But yeah, so bot lane, jungle, and then support mid. So do you go jungle or AD carry here?
I think AD carry might be the way right here, but I guess it depends on who has a deeper champ pool. Surely you take them back to back, and it's whoever can eat more bans. So jungle is going to be the pick, the J4. Obviously can go in a little bit. There's the engage. Galio can ult down on top of it to follow up. So something that was kind of missing was that engage, and J4 is definitely going to be that for them.
Yeah, I think it's a solid pick into the Nocturne, and then, yeah, good wombo combo with those 3 ultimates. So I guess they're putting some faith in Key's champ pool, able to go to the second phase. But Mint doesn't really care as they're looking at Storm instead. So Malphite, Mordekaiser off the board. I have to assume it's going to be an 80 carry pick by NOH next. Surely.
Surely.
Because that way they can keep the Galio
Interesting.
flex, of course.
Interesting that they do take away the horn. That's kind of obviously a good blind pick that Mint could take here in the top lane, but also one of Pandorum's best champions mid. So, you know, definitely cramping their own team in future games here with that ban.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one. I don't know. I mean, I guess they thought they were going to take the Ornn and didn't want to play with it, but I feel like you save it and you can just pick it next game. I don't know, but they know something we don't. The classic Key Zeri coming out here, game one solid pairing with the Nami. I guess, yeah, mobile enough, I guess, against the Nocturne. Just stay next to a wall, right? And you're big chilling. So we should get the mid and top laners here. Mid, you have to assume you're going to be playing into Galio. I guess they could flex it. I don't see too much in Galio top lane, but surely should be easy enough, right? As we're going to get a Maokai locked in surely into the top lane. Or Karma mid. Maokai support. Big brain.
Could be.
Small
Could
brain.
be.
I don't know.
Surely not Malachi mid. That isn't a thing yet. Could be, but it isn't right now. Okay, so some frontline coming through. Malachi and Swain. You needed that. You need some tanks to stand in front of the Yunara Karma, and looks like that is what they're gonna get.
Yeah, I like the Swain paired with the Karma. Silas. It's locked in, right? Yeah, looks like it's locked in. So surely it's going to be Storm on the Silas top lane. Pandorum playing the classic tank mid lane. Have to assume. That means that's Maokai top, right? Swain or Karma, I both could go mid. I think you would prefer it just to be Swain. That way Karma can hang out with Yunara all game, but we'll see if they spice it up. All right, champ pools, or not champ pools, team lineup, roster, whatever it is, comps, team comps. That's what I'm looking for. Team comp. Which one are you liking better here?
If you choose forcing me to pick, I think I'm going NOH here. I do. I like theirs a little bit better. I think that their team has a little bit more synergy here. I just see more of it. Then I don't think Mint has a bad draft per se. But if when Nocturne really goes into that backline, who's gonna go with him? Obviously the Malachi ult can help, but Swain and Malachi can't really get there. Karma and Yunara can't either. You can definitely play with that. You can do some good things, but I just like NOH's draft here.
Okay. I'm a little bit of a 50-50. I mean, I guess that means I'll go with Mint here, but I could see how it could work. If the Maokai ult, depending on who you catch, Nocturne just ignores that entire fiasco and goes straight for the backline as the Maokai ult's snaring, rooting people. Curious to see how Pandorum's going to play the Galio in team fights. Is it going to be more frontline? Is it going to be lurking in the shadows for over the top ult? I don't know. Mitt can just kind of run straight at you. So might come down to what Dibsy and Pandorum and how they play the frontline game. Bot lane, in lane should be fairly easy. Even. That's the word I was looking for. See, that's what happens when I'm late. I can't speak yet. Bot lane should be pretty even. Mid lane, I mean, should be pretty boring. Surely, Galio versus Swain. Just a bunch of no damage there. Top lane, we'll see. I feel like we've seen Storm pop off, and then we've seen some more to be desired. Going against a lot lower ranked opponent in the top lane, but team-wise, they're completely even. So we'll see. Maybe it's comes down to how the junglers play. They're both on some play-making champions. So not looking at the draft, and I forget. Obviously, we went over this on Tuesday a little bit. I don't know. Have you changed it at all? Are you still rocking with whoever you picked? If you remember who you picked.
I think I picked NOH. I'm gonna stay NOH here. Definitely feeling pretty good about them right now, but I am a little worried from what we saw the last time they were out here. They lost to what was at that point the number 8 team in the league. So I'm just gonna call it a fluke. I'm gonna say they weren't really trying. They were trolling around. They were messing around. They're gonna take it serious. We'll see though. I mean, feels bad to lose the way they did, and if they don't bounce back, there's going to be some question marks for the defending champs.
Yeah, it does feel like a little bit more pressure on them. Um, but I think, yeah, last week I think was a lot of what were they doing game 2 in the draft, but who knows? That's okay. It was a long time ago. People don't, they forgot about that by now, right? Um, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the Maokai versus Silas. If Silas can keep Maokai in like a split push type lane and kind of force more 4v4 fights, I think that could definitely favor NOH. Basically, take away their front line. So it might come down to how Dude Caleb can play that top lane. Uh, I think this is Mint's first time to play back-to-back same roster. So surely that should help them a little bit more consistency there for Mint at least. And then, yeah, NOH coming off that loss, which against a team that I think is actually going to be a top 4 team in MBN with their new lineup. So I don't really look at it like they lost to an 8th place, worst team in the league type thing. But either way, tied up. The battle for second seed, potentially first seed, maybe. I guess it'd be a tie, probably, by double decker, so they probably would stay in second. But battle for second, potentially the loser might drop to like 4th seed here after this one. But anyway, that's enough rambling by us. Let's throw it to a quick break as we wait for this super fun 3-minute spectator delay. And when we're back, we'll be on the Rift for Game 1 NOH versus Mint. Stay tuned.
Welcome to game one. We have Mint versus New Origins Honmoon. Second place on the line. Both of these teams tied for second and facing each other on the Rift. Little cheeky invade quickly by Mint there. They're going to get some vision down. On the other side, we had Jarvan. Dibsy for NOH put a ward in the top lane to help Storm. So, both junglers going to be a little bit late starting their first camp. The Jarvan still has not gotten to his. It's been spawned for about 5 seconds. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before, CB.
You don't know the new strats?
Jungler... Yeah, okay. I mean, different.
They
I
figured
don't
they
know
had
that I want my junglers starting so slowly just to get a ward for my top laner, but okay.
top lane, super important lane, I'd say, this match. I mean, at least on paper. Well, I'd say on paper, but I think actually both top laners were top half this week in the power rankings, at least. So maybe it's more even than I'm talking right now. I mean, really, I've had the bot lane matchup circled here for a bit. Both of these bot lanes, I mean, the top two. I mean, most people would say. You could say maybe there's some more to be desired by NOH's bot lane lately, but I think overall, really, it's the best two bot lanes here. There's a bunch of chip damage coming out from KMZ on to Pandorum.
Nice fancy footwork by Sprite's Gambit there. Dodged everything.
All right, who's your first blood prediction?
First blood prediction. It's got to be these junglers, right? I just feel like the 2 solo lanes is not going to happen.
I'd say maybe, but they path different. They path opposite.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You'll see. It feels like
it's not going to be an early one. That's my prediction.
I guess it could be from
one of them.
Yeah, I guess
it's going to be from a jungle. Yeah.
No vision top side of J4. Safe to take. Completely split maps by the jungles. So far, Dude Caleb using the Q. Defensively, that's exactly what you want to do here against Storm's Silas. Only a couple CS down so far, so we'll have to see. You have to watch out. Storm has the Ignite, so a couple more trades like that might go Storm's way. I was thinking I was gonna vote for Evil Fallen to get the first blood here, as Nami's already low on mana.
Okay. I like it. Don't think it's going to happen. It looks like at least not right now. Recall going to come out. 4 minutes in, not really a whole lot of kill threat going on for either side at this point. Spoke too soon. Storm forced to flash away from Wreck Cat.
As the flash, the W should come. No. If he was going to commit, Dude Caleb, I think would have had to have flashed early before the dash, but probably not even worth it. I don't know. You have to confirm the kill, but either way, Storm gonna duck dip dive and dodge. Gonna have to use the flash, but the ignite and the kill pressure still available by Storm. So almost prediction came true with Rex Hat going up top. Gonna cost them getting behind a camp compared to Dibsy, but 0-0, 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, maybe these teams are feeling it like we are. I think the matchup is, really good for both teams here. Pando getting low there in the mid lane, but the way these teams like to play, they both kind of have one lane that likes to play really safe, and it's opposite lanes of each other, so...
Yeah, really they're composed very similarly. It's just the kind of the mid and top are flipped between the two teams, but if you just lump them all into being solo laners, then it's pretty much two of the same teams, right?
Yeah, exactly the same team. All I know is that there's bot laners and people who don't matter.
Yeah, there's support, and there's 4 other people getting carried.
True. Pretty good trade there by dude Caleb.
Yeah, some nice trade here. That Ignite won't mean too much if you can get some chip damage onto the Silas as a first dragon going to come out before first blood. I feel like we haven't seen that in a hot minute. But J4 lurking top side. Not going to get spotted out, but Maokai playing a very safe lane, especially when Silas has his ult.
And he's just trying to get any XP range. Ooh. Silas Ignite will come down. It will be first blood for Storm.
Yeah, I think Dude Caleb had to know that he had to ult as soon as Silas ulted. This is his only chance, even with the flash up. I mean, obviously he didn't know J4 was there. We did. But I mean, why would Storm go in if he wasn't trying to kill you there? So I think if you're Dude Caleb, you wish you would have just pressed the R button half a second sooner. But first blood over to Storm, trying to take the #1 top lane spot, as it's been very close for, it seems, multiple splits back and forth between him and BK. So we'll see. Storm can take this 1 kill and turn it into something. He might get tethered. Is going to get the root, but can Evil Fallen do enough damage? Key going to live. I'm going to say it's all Nami here. I mean, Key probably still would have lived, but it at least was enough to stop Evil Fallen and Sprite's Gambit from moving forward.
Nami also got a little bit of damage there on Evil Fallen, so with the heals coming through from Nami here, shouldn't be too much pressure here.
A little bit of a DDoS going on here as we got right back. No actual delay. Oh, just kidding. Other than a little pause. Hiccup. Sprite's Gambit back into it. J4's on the map first. We don't have Dragon for another 3 minutes. We do have the Void Grubs spawned now, so we'll see if we can actually get a little bit of a team fight going on. Maybe 2 or 3 people in a Grubs fight or something. A little bit of action as we're going to get the spicy Nami roam top toward the Void Grubs, I assume. And it might be a Nami roam into Key's death. No, the barrier's going to come out. That is one that you just love to see if you're support. Hey, DCarry, I'm going to go help the team, and all you have to do is not kiss Karma on the lips. And, you know, AD carries would never do that, right? They would never step up when their support's not there.
I just want that CS, man. It's totally worth the 14 gold.
Exactly, you gotta die for those 3 minions.
Well, Key didn't die, so he is better than I would have been.
Custom barrier, but who really needs that? Really hit some damage going. Yeah, I think it was the W kind of, I guess, allowed Dude Caleb to miss. I don't know Silas's abilities, but, you know, missed an ability or something. He's going to use the ult early here. He's going to get the Q off onto both of them. No flash available into the J4 ult. Dude Caleb should go down. Who is going to get the kill? It's going to be 2 over to Storm. And I don't think this was on the Vegas lines, but I think if it were, most people probably would have picked that Storm would be getting some lane kills.
Yeah, I mean, he is 2-0. He has all the kills in the game, but thus far, it's all been the jungle here.
Both ults come out from the side of NOH. Nice disengage. Rexcat goes all the way in with the Nocturnal, the tether from Sprite's Gambit. Not able to come through as there he gets over the wall, but both ults used from Key and Star Ravenfire. So I don't know who that actually favors. I guess it only one ult for 2, maybe. Guess we'll say
Oh,
mid.
come on, you're not. I think Karma used ult there.
True, 2 for 2.
There we go. There we go. Just a very small cooldown on that one.
We do have the CS lead by minutes. Kind of expected. You have the range advantage. You have the poke advantage. So, 20 CS isn't the end of the world, I guess. But Swain as well with the CS lead. But J4 and Silas with leads of their own. And about a 1,000 goal lead in favor of NOH. Pair that with some grubs. Pair that with a strong scaling Silas with the rod. We'll see how it goes. But you did get that first dragon for mint.
Yeah, still very close, about 1,000 gold difference here at 11 minutes. One team a little bit stronger on the bot side, the other a little bit stronger on the top.
We're finally going to get a team fight here. Diddy's going to go in. Going to hit the ult onto the Nocturne. Galio ult comes over the top, but not enough. Swain out in the middle of 4 people. That's a dead KNZ. Galio's going to go in. Here comes Maokai, but where's the damage? Evil Fall needs to get in there. He's surely going to fall next. Going to fall before we get over the wall. Rex Cat 4 is next on the menu. Now it is a numbers game. Down goes Star Raven. Double kill for Evil Fallen, but now it's behind enemy lines. Too much CC should take him down. Storm going to miss on Sprite's Gambit. Can the team come to help? Karma surely going to fall next. It's going to get the tether, the shield speed up. Heals almost up. Don't think it's going to come up in time. As they're going to say they don't want the dragon yet. They want the kill. Galio with a 3-piece chicken McNugget in the second dragon fight.
Yeah, Pando picking up 3 kills, and a game that was looking pretty close is swinging a little bit in the favor of New Origins Honmoon right now.
Storm, can he get away? Dude, Caleb W not up early enough, and they're going to get turned on here. Galio goes in. So much CC on to Rex Cat for mint. KMZ is too far away to really help. Dude, Caleb is going to fall. Who's going to get the kill? Storm's going to get another one. Rex Cat stepping up way too far. Unfortunately, Swain has no damage yet. He has the one item. Just not able to contribute too much in these team fights 13 minutes in, so Storm wants more. There's a Swain ult that might do a little bit more damage, and Sprite's Gambit trying to help out the mid laner, support things, help the teammate. They get out, you die for it.
This has been a terrible dragon. Take for mint, they 7 deaths over that one dragon. That's your whole team +2.
Yeah, yikes. I don't even know. I mean, I think it's just one of those that your team just can't fight yet because the Swain, at least in that first fight, was able to ult and like CC 1 or 2 people, and that was about it. Just not strong enough yet. So it almost was like a 4.5 versus 5 kind of felt like. Nocturne's good for the pick. In a jumbled up team fight, maybe not as good. So, yeah, just those close quarter 4v4, 5v5 fights, I think, just favor NOH's comp, and it was just proven there to us.
Now, as far as the 2 kills, they did both go on Evil Fallen's Yunara, so if you're trying to look at the bright side here for Mint, probably their MVP candidate and best player is the one who got the gold there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Evil Fallen, I think the remainder of the team fights are going to be focused on him, as we're going to see Rex Cat go in with the ult. Swain E going to miss, and we'll see if J4 can get close enough to go in. He's going to flash for it. He's going to ult, and that is a dead Swain. CC'd. Rex Cat not able to get out here. I think he's going to die. Dibsy just able to get out of tower range. That'd have been a 250 gold shutdown. Now 350 gold. But yeah, I mean, some good plays by Dibsy is what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, making things happen all over the map right here. I think we were talking about this earlier, CB. We were talking about some MVP candidates, and we said NOH was really hard to say. They had some strong performances, but Dibsy really standing out so far in game one.
Even though you told me he's their third best player.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Ah, people were whispering.
Throwing me under the bus here.
Roll a clip. Top three.
Storm
that's
going in right here on DC. Dude Caleb going to be able to walk away, though. Pandorum taking very aggressive trades here every single time he gets a chance against the Swain. He is 4-0-3. Has the upgraded boots, has Hollow Radiance.
Yeah, not only 4-0-3, but building MR. So he's not, I don't think he's going to die to Swain in lane. Yeah, I think you just healed them up right there. We might get a fight to the death here in the top lane. Storm's going to go and has the Ignite available, but he's going to lose more health. Now has the Maokai ult, so I think maybe next fight we'll see something as we get Dragon here in about a minute 20. See if we can get another team fight. Rexcat just wanting the romp is worth his life, I guess. And that's going to cost them 2 members. So I don't know. Rexcat doing something. Evil Fallen.
Storm getting very aggressive here.
And a nice bubble by Star Raven Firestorm should live as well. A nice, I guess, dive there. They were already there because they chased the Karma, but I mean, a nice side bubble from Star Raven Fire. 13-2. It felt like a few minutes ago it was just about tied up. And this one I think is going to be a tough one for Mid to come back from, because I think it's just going to take so long for Swain to get something going. I mean, Maokai at this point just has to match a 5-0 Silas. And Nocturne really can't pick anybody out. So as I say that, hold that thought. We'll see if they can do enough damage to the Galio here. A massive shield. Should be enough with the multi-damage types on. It's going to be a shutdown. So I jinxed it, right? That's a comeback now.
Yeah. Oh, we mentioned he was building all MR, and that's great against the Swain, but when Nocturne's there, it doesn't help you quite as much.
Yeah, so Galio down while Dragon is up. Dib's going to go in first, going to get a lot of damage down to him. Rexcat going to get chunked a little bit. Silas is going to make the first move. DC has the TP. It's going to come through, so surely going to see a team fight here. Does Storm have... No. Storm has no ults right now, so we're going to get the mid tower is the priority. Mid tower is going to go down in favor of NOH. Dragon, I think, has been started. Cameraman doesn't want to show it, but it looks like Nocturne is on the Dragon. NOH playing the macro game here, saying it's not worth it, as here we're going to get a fight. Dude Caleb, Maokai ult's going to hit. Swain ult comes through. Here comes Nanami over the top. Nocturne, oh, is anybody doing damage? Can we get some damage? There we go. Finally get some kills. There goes the Zeri. There goes the J4. Okay. Don't look now. Mint doing some things.
Okay, Swain's going to start doing damage now.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mint needed. 3 kills to KMZ. Surely a lot of gold in his pocket now. And a huge momentum swing. Gold less than 1,000 now. And I like the macro play, but it just was like an overstay by NOH pushing down the mid lane.
Yeah, it seemed like NOH was on a couple different pages in that fight. We saw the stolen Maokai ult come out, or excuse me, the Maokai ult come out to engage, and Dibsy was hitting the tower. The rest of his team started fighting, And the Jarvan ended up on the back line behind his carries, and that was just a recipe for disaster in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, NOH was just, I think, way stronger as a team. That was just a complete overstay, people on different pages, and now Mint very much right back in it. Now, they're not stronger than NOH. NOH can still play these team fights correctly, but based on the call there by NOH, I'm going to say interesting call. We're going to get a nice bubble into a key ult. The rest of the team kind of slacking a little bit, but the nice J4 ult. Evil Fallen going to go down as well as Sprite's Gambit. So teams just taking turns overstaying. You got to walk up 2v3, especially if you're going to get hit with a bubble. You're likely going to go down. You cannot have the AD carry be the furthest person up. At least not with no vision. That's the caveat. No vision. Football was chilling there.
Dude, Caleb getting aggressive here, but he's about to get dove. I don't think he realizes it.
We're not going to get to see both fights. We'll see. Dude, Caleb just CC left and right. Going to have a nice flash. KMZ versus Pandorum fighting here. The E just clipped Galio's toenails. Is it enough? Galio should have enough here. Super close fight, but the 1v1 goes in favor of Pandorum.
Meanwhile, I don't know what happened to Dude Caleb, but he didn't take any damage in a 4v1 tower dive there. Eventually, Sprite's Gambit shows up to help him get away, but that guy's still full health. What was going on?
I think a nice flash by Dude Caleb, just getting a little bit more tanky. I would have liked to have seen him throw his sapling maybe in the far bush there instead of the middle one for no reason, but who knows? It's just little things, you know. As we're going to get some vision cleared out for NOH, but they might get collapsed on here, both with a nice target selection by Mint straight on to key. Star Ravenfire going to fall as well, and I'm all for clearing vision with a partner, but if you don't see the rest of the team, the enemy team, it probably means you're out too far, especially when you're playing against Nocturne.
I mean, in ADC overstepping, who would have imagined?
Another fight. Storm is the target by Rexcat, but not enough damage coming out from Evil Fallen yet. KMZ trying to take down Dibsy. He's going to be able to get away. Galio going to flash, I think, to safety. Yes, so it's just going to be a 1-for-0 in... Oh, sorry, 2-for-0 in this fight. It's like a battle of the who can make a weird random like overstep play. They're just taking turns.
That does seem to be the MO of the game one at least. Only about a 2,000 gold lead right here by NOH despite the 9 kills. I'm telling you, dude, Caleb's got some fancy feet here. He's dodging everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say outside of the first, 7 minutes of the game, he's playing super well. As we're going to get an engage onto Storm. Maokai going to come through, but not enough damage onto Storm to take him down yet. We're going to get all out team fight. Zeri ult coming through. So much CC onto Storm, but he's going to live. Dude Caleb to fall next. That's 2-1 so far, and down goes the rest of NOH. Can they get out a shutdown into the Unara's pocket? And down goes the Galio Dibsy. Don't think he's going to live here. KMZ going to spot him out. Can he go over the wall? I think so. So a 4-for-2 in favor of Mint.
Yeah, and Evil Fallen just really cleaning up in that. We mentioned it earlier, it seemed like the top laners were the ones just soaking all that damage. Dude Caleb, Storm, took forever to get both of them down, and when that's going on, that means that the carries are able to pop off on the back. This time, Evil Fallen was the one dishing out all the damage and getting all the kills.
And Storm was CC'd for so long in that entire team fight and was able to live. As still no heal cut on the side of Mint. I guess, you won the team fight, so who really needs it, right? You have between the Silas and the Nami, feels like it should eventually get bought. But so far, the last couple fights looks like Mint's faring fairly well. So that's weird. I mean, it feels like a very even, take turns who's winning these team fights. But I mean, you look on the side of NOH. I mean, you have an 8-2 Silas, a 3-1-13 J4. This on paper feels like maybe it should go NOH's way, but I say it's pretty even. This is what we like to see as casters, as spectators. The back and forth, super close game within 1,026 minutes into the game.
We thought that NOH was pulling away, but credit to Mint here for bringing it back. Really showing some resiliency in this game and the ability to play from behind.
While NOH is up in gold, Mint has 3 dragons. I'm sure we'll get some team fights going on before the next dragon, but macro-wise, Mint has a little bit of a step up as Rexcat wants to go in. The Zerial's going to get popped. Rexcat's going to go straight down to half health. Knockout comes through. Namio over the top, and a huge chunk comes out from Key's Zeri. Dude, Caleb going to go ahead and just say, why not? Going to go in by myself, and then I'm going to flash away. Zeri wants some more. Dude, Caleb making an interesting decision. The rest of the team not really there to follow. Eva Fallen there to pick up some damage on the backside. So a little bit of a split call, it looked like. But it ended up being a 1-for-1 either way.
Right, all the good things I said about DC, I take back after that one.
As Mac guy, you see people step up, you just want to go in and W him real quick. And then Q and then run away. Sometimes you have to flash for stop points.
Still only about a 1,000 gold lead, 27.5 minutes. We do have Baron up Dragon, gonna be up in about 2 minutes.
Interesting.
See if either team's gonna be playing towards the Baron, or maybe they want to fight over this Dragon.
Yeah, we'll see if Mint, I mean, I'm always a fan of, pushing the mid wave as a team. Maybe you have one person split. And then you can kind of decide how you want to play. You want to go for the dragon, try to get that soul. Maybe it's probably it's a team fight. Or you just push the mid into a Baron. Question is, can they take it fast enough? Because you have the Galio global ult. Silas, depending on what ult he takes, I guess could get there super quick as well. So we'll see how Mint wants to play it. But as fans, I guess, we just want to see team fights. So who really cares about the macro, right?
Yeah. Let's just make an ARAM out of this. That's fun.
Looks like Mint is positioning for the dragon, but there's a minute left. So they're... I don't know. Mint's doing something down there. Collapsing on the Silas. I thought Silas was going to back. It was going to be for nothing, but Storm might get caught here, and it's well before the dragon. Can he get away?
8-2.
I don't think it's going to be enough to catch anybody. He is going to be able to live for quite a long time, but it's not really going to help him by any means. Sprite's game is going to say, hey, I want to kill. I have 14 assists. Why not? Just go ahead and get one for the Karma. This Karma does have the Dark Seal. So Silas will be down for the dragon. Should surely be a free dragon for Mint. Still, even though it worked out, not a fan of what they did there. But hey, Silas felt like he should stay, even though didn't see half the team on the map.
Yeah, when you're 8-2, you feel a little bit bigger, that you can maybe get away with some of the stuff you wouldn't normally try. But Mint probably gonna get soul off of this.
Yeah, Makai TP is going to come through. They're going to fight after Dibs. He really wants to get in here. Can he take it? No, it's too little, too late. And now we're sucked into a fight. A nice Galio ult. KMZ gonna live long enough. Dude, Caleb in the middle of it, but not enough damage coming out from Mint. Oh, a nice flash, able to get over. Surely can catch KMZ here. In a triple piece for Key. They gave up the soul, but they opted to fight, and it works out in favor of NOH.
It was a 4v5, but you mentioned Pandorum had the great Galio ult. Really just tied that all together right there. Storm came back alive shortly thereafter and TP'd in to help with the cleanup. NOH going straight to the Baron right now.
Should be free Baron. So custom soul. Got a bunch of kills, got some gold, and the Baron. So I think if you're a new Origins Honmoon, you take that one all day. Now the question is, can we make it 5 minutes till an Elder fight? These team fights are always fun so far. This game, all of them have been fun. Fun to watch, just a bunch of chaos in there. But now up 10 kills, up 3,500 gold. 4,500 gold? 4,000 gold? I don't know. It's too much math. Too quick, but soul is soul, right? So that's that means something.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you know, the way that these team fights have been going, makes sense that NOH is about to lose this next one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, here comes the overload onto Pandorum, a 3v1.
Is able to live quite a long time as the cavalry is coming in. Galio should go down. No, he's not going to go down yet. It's lived so long for the rest of NOH to get there. Kizeri pumping out a ton of damage, and Galio sustain. Able to bait, so it looked like he was going to get caught out there, but just able to live for so long. And with the Baron, minions, we're going to get the TP in from Galio after the base. How far can they push? Nocturne will be up in 25 seconds.
Yeah, if you're going to commit everything to that side lane, you're going to have to get the kill. They're unable to kill the Galio, and once the cavalry shows up, it's all over. And
ooh, looks like kind of a hesitation on the call there, as Dibsy really wanted to keep going. Convinced the team to stay. Gonna get chunked out, and it might have been the right call. KMZ able to do a lot of damage, but not the tankiest champion. Is gonna fall down first. That's Galio. Can he take down Evil Fall? And he does. Galio surely falls next. But Key, so strong, able to take down the Nocturne. Now it's a 2v2, but the health bars favor Mint here. Star Raven Fire surely not gonna get out of this one. And I still don't hate the call. You're able to take both towers. Obviously, they'll eventually respawn. But it looked like Dibsy wanted to keep going. The rest of the team kind of wanted to back off. They quickly corrected to be on the same page. And, naturally, you went for the end. You just couldn't quite get it. But, hey, I didn't even get to see. I assume that ward got taken out by the Nexus, right?
yeah, it did. I mean, you could say Dipsy was right. Maybe if the rest of his team didn't have that 3 to 5 second pullback right there, if they just all commit, that Nexus might have gone down right there. There's only about 75% of it left, I guess. It's healed back up, but they had an outside shot. But once you pulled back the first time, I think that was when you just stayed pulled back. Unfortunately, NOH didn't. And they came close to ending, but ended up all dying except Storm in that fight.
So a while back, we did get the heal cut onto the Maokai. Now we also have it onto the Swain. We have the GA available for Keys Zeri here. I think if you're NOH, it feels like you want to fight before the Elder. Mint's best chance to win this game just kind of feels like it's for an Elder fight. Obviously, I say surely whoever gets the Elder wins the team fight, depending on how many people have died before it actually gets taken. If you're NOH, you have the super minions pushing top. Let's see their macro game plan here. A lot of the times, teams will just opt to hang out and just fight at the Elder. Why not?
I mean, surely you don't have to wait for those super minions and wait for someone to respond to them.
Smart choice by Storm to take the Maokai ult. Kind of goes without saying, but you never know. As they're going to engage here smartly before this Elder Dragon. Dude Caleb going to get chunked down, but not enough. Down goes Dibsy. Galio's in the backline, but they're not doing enough damage to Rexcat in the backline. Storm wants to keep going. Zeri's still alive with the GA, but surely will get taken down immediately after. Maybe not immediately, but the base is favoring NOH, so it's a 3v2 in favor of Mint. But they have to base, they have to protect those towers at least. So Elder Dragon still up for a 5v5 fight potentially.
Yeah, it looked like there was an angle on Dude Caleb's Maokai right there, but just so tanky, unable to kill him after everything had been committed to that. That really let Evil Fallen go off on the backline. On the other side, Galio was the one being committed on, and he did blow up pretty quickly.
All right, so question for an AD carry, because I don't know. As this team fight feels like it's going to be the team fight for the game here at this Elder Dragon. If you're Zeri, do you, as I'm saying it, he did it. I was going to say, do you sell the GA before this fight? And I was like, okay, surely you do. No, just kidding. Sold it and bought it again. Or maybe it's a glitch. Who knows? But I feel like you sell it, no?
I mean, the armor's so good. No,
Okay.
if you have enough gold to buy another completed item, yes. But you know, it could be that it's just some components, and at that point,
Might as well keep
is
it.
it worth it?
Okay,
Maybe.
okay. I don't know things. I built it 0 times, I think. As here we go, surely the fight for the game. Dude, Caleb wants to get in there. The rest of the team not following, and he's just going to go down in that. Maybe he doesn't go down. Maybe he does go down. Down goes the Maokai first. Down goes the Nocturne. Swain's ult is going. Dibsy is pretty low, but Evil Fallen not able to find an angle to get in. And now both members from Mint's bot lane have to flash. Let's see. NOH, do you want the Elder? Do you want to push? Super Minions top lane are pushing. Galio going to get the CC and the bubble onto Evil Fallen. I think without that bubble, he might have been able to get away, but now it's surely game over. I'm not going to put that one solely on Dude Caleb, but maybe it's on the rest of the team for not following him.
Yeah, definitely some miscommunication. Either way, he went in, the rest of his team did not follow. He stayed alive for quite a while, but his team wasn't doing anything while he was staying alive, and it's going to cost him game 1.
I will say it's one of the longer games that we've casted, and definitely a ton of back and forth, taking turns on who wins the team fight, who overstays. And that was kind of what we expected between these two teams, right? Two top 3 teams, a banger first game.
Yeah, I mean, just look at those damage numbers. We got 58,000 damage for the Yunara. We got 67,000 for Zeri. Uh, these ADCs were pumping out a ton of damage in these fights. They were doing everything. They had a front line to stand behind. But in the end, it ended up being NOH that took game 1.
All right. So you were correct. It worked out, and it definitely looked like NOH after that first 1.5 team fight. I don't even know what that Dragon team fight was. It just like never ended. That very first one, a massive lead. Mint clawed back into it with a nice fight of their own, and then there's a bunch of back and forth, and ended up with an elder fight, an almost elder fight, I guess. Didn't even really get to fight over it, but nonetheless, nice by NOH, able to pull that one out as we get ready for draft number 2. I don't know if we're going to change sides or not. We'll have to see. But all right. And so after that one, I assume you're going to double down and keep rocking with NOH to win this series.
I'm gonna keep rocking with them. They got an early lead. They partially threw that lead. Maybe you could say they should have ended about 15 minutes sooner than what they actually did. But they pulled it out. This is a top team, and they were able to win. So you got to stick with the team that's winning, even if it was a little bit rocky on the way. I still think NOH is going to take this one.
Okay, okay. I'll say Mint showed enough to where, I mean, I feel like a lot of the times whoever wins game one, especially if they were either, evenly favored or the favored team, I'm always like, game two. I mean, the momentum and you were already favored. Um, but I think Mint showed enough there that I'd say it's still a coin toss. So that means I guess I'll still rock with them to make the reverse sweep. Still on the table. We'll see what side they end up choosing. I mean, in a scenario like this, and I think like dude, Caleb played fine, and obviously Storm has been one of the best players that's played in Rivals League consistently. So, um, kind of expected that's how lane was going to go. Do you even take red side? I mean, usually teams will take that for a counter pick, and a lot of the times it goes to your top lane. Um, is it enough to be worth it? It looks like Mint thinks it is. So they're going to opt to go red side, it does look like.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't have to be for top lane. There's 2 solo lanes. Some I've heard say that support counter pick, it can be game
Underrated.
changing in the right hand. So, you know, maybe you hold that last pick for your support here. Probably not going to hold it for your ADC, but you never know. I like to be last pick myself, but
Yeah,
my teammates don't usually let that happen.
every player loves to get counterpick, and the only people that are wrong are AD carry and jungle. Arguably mid lane, but I'll say definitely AD carry. You can make the argument, I guess, a little bit. I mean, obviously counterpick helps anybody that can get it, but I'm of the opinion it should always be top or support. But what do I know? I'm just biased support player.
That is true. That is true.
As we are, apologies if that just ruined your eardrums, as I had a pop up. But looks like, yeah, whoever made the draft link, report that person because they did not set it up as Iron Man. Rivals draft is Iron Man Fearless, so everybody picked and banned off the board. So we're just waiting to get draft 2 set up. Almost getting there. It's going to be Mint on red side. NOH on blue, up 1-0 all. Bans happening in game 2. I think game 3 as well. I always forget. We kind of change it every split just slightly, but I think all regular season games.
Yeah. We are doing all bans in game 3 this split.
As they will eventually figure out the draft system. As far as setting it up, potential draft remake. I mean, you're not gonna. I don't know if you can go in and change the settings to make it Iron Man. Obviously, using what is it called? Drafter? Is that what we're using? Has the Iron Man setting to it, so makes it a little bit easier when you play in Rivals League, I guess. So we're almost there. All right, so last game we had the 80 carry first pick. I think the Unara pick was definitely fine. Laning phase, I'd say even favored them. Favored Mint's team on blue. But out of lane, it just felt like the lack of range against the team comp that NOH had. It was tough in some of those team fights for Evil Fallen, especially that last one. So we'll see as we have now 2 different draft links. We'll eventually get there. So we're going to use...
many draft links.
So many draft links, so little time. Let me go back over here until we can get it set up. But surely winner of this, I have to assume, is going to be second seed, potentially tie for first, but probably second seed loser, potentially dropping down to fourth. I don't know if they can drop to fifth or not. Um, as I guess we're just like redoing first draft just to make it
I,
easier for
yeah,
second draft. I don't. I mean, hey,
I think they have to redo first draft so that it shows up on what was picked and banned for the Iron Man, as opposed to just remembering
yeah,
what's
like
on
they
banned for
remember enough to redo the draft, but not
both.
enough to just draft. Hey, just a bunch of gamers hanging out, man.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just hanging
mean,
out.
no biggie. Easy.
So as they redo the first draft, what I mean, they three tanks. I mean, obviously it's been a staple a lot of the time for Pandorum to be on that mid tank duty. I think last week maybe played two non tanks, so has at least the flexibility there. But I guess then again, you could say that's the week they lost, right? So, um, not saying there's a
I was
correlation.
gonna
I'm
bring
just
that
saying
up.
coincidental. I'm just saying some sort of correlation, not cause and effects, but there's a correlation there. But up 1-0. So obviously we didn't cast last week's NOH versus MBN, but I do believe NOH won game one last week. Got a little loose, got a little comfortable into game two, and then thought Iron Top was probably the way to go. So I would love to see it again this week, just to prove, because I think we've touched on it like 6 different times, but I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna come out again unless it's last week of the season and the game doesn't mean anything. But maybe Storm just wants to prove us wrong. It is possible.
I think it's going to be Big Brain. They're going to pick it, but then they're going to flex it. And Key's going to play it.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Gonna catch Mint off guard here. We'll see. But hopefully last week was a lesson learned. Don't get too comfortable in game two. You can spice it up a little bit, but I think there was a couple things that were spicy, right? I don't know, but I think we're ready for draft. Almost waiting on somebody. As did the stream just drop? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I can.
Hmm. Okay. First time. First
Stream
time in
is
a long time.
on. Oh,
Oh, is it back
we're
on?
back. Yeah, we're back.
Is that
We're
even how
back.
it works? Does it just work like that? It just fixes itself?
I don't know. It's working now.
Hmm.
So interesting.
I don't know. I just work here. We are waiting for the teams. You were waiting for me game one, but this time it's not my fault. Dun, 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 dun. Is it working?
Yeah, it's working on my screen. I have Twitch pulled up. We're live.
Mm-hmm. We're just waiting for some people to ready up. We'll see. We'll see something happen. Maybe. All right. Real question is: do you think the winner of this series is a lock to make it into finals?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I
Okay.
would say lock for playoffs. I know that's
Okay.
not really going out on the limb there that much, but I don't think that it is a lock for finals here.
Okay. 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 It always
I mean, you
seems
could
like.
say
Good.
if Mint won, that they lost a big baller. If Honmoon won, they have already lost to MBN, and we do still have the undefeated double deckers on. So that's at least two teams theoretically you would take over either of these ones, despite their second place seed.
The only reason, I mean, probably. reason I would say 50-50 on it is that after this week, I'd probably put Double Decker as having had the easiest first 4 weeks compared to every other team. Now, you can only play the teams that are in front of you, and I think most of their games have been 2-0, maybe all of them have been 2-0.
Yeah, they
So,
haven't lost a. They
I'm just,
haven't lost a map yet, but you know, did they really play anyone worth talking about?
true, true. They have not played either one of these teams. As I think it's because the stream dropped for a second that it's gonna force ad on you. It's not my fault, but hey, it's not my fault. It's Husky's fault. As we get ready
That's
for draft, you're just gonna miss a draft. You'll probably catch it on the backside. Who knows? In 2.5 minutes,
You could just
or
subscribe and not get ads too. That is an option.
just if you have a Prime laying around, you could, but or you'll catch the draft here in about 2.5 minutes after you learn about, I don't know, whatever ads are playing. All right, Syndra, Ash off the board. Key, not going to get Ash. KMZ, no Syndra tonight after the Swain. Swain, a rough, super early game, but then the team fight got 3 kills, immediately put online. So,
That was a hell of a game one. It seemed like the team fights went back and forth. That at least one person had a team fight where they popped off in that entire game right there. It was a little crazy. So everyone got their own little spotlight. Lucian Zaya gonna be the next band. So skewing a little bit more ADC here. Those were the two players that really popped off in damage, at least in game one.
who knows? Maybe both teams just triple ban 80 carry. Who knows? I don't know Champles that well. Could be. I've seen crazier things. I've seen a lot worse things in my solo queue games. So than a Vel'Koz or Brand AP carry. Actually, I think we've seen Brand AP carry actually pop off in Rivals League this, but forget by who, but I do believe it has happened, and a Ziggs. But there are your bans. A bunch of squishy champs off the board. Seraphine off first could be a 3-way flex. I feel like you mostly played support right now.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a support pick. I know you like holding support, but let's throw it down, make them do something about it. Sivir is the answer for Mint. Great scaling champion. Fairly weak early though. We'll see what Honmoon wants to answer with. Cho'Gath going to be Mint's second pick. That is probably one of Dude Caleb's favorite champions over his Rivals League career. So I'm expecting that to go in the top lane.
Yeah, not only one of his more played champions, also I think a takeaway from Pandorum if he was going to take another tank potentially. And the Vayne coming out that can of course be flexed 80 carry and top. I feel like Storm's probably played it more than Key, at least in Rivals League. So we'll see. Not the worst pairing with a Seraphine down there in the bot lane. So surely they just pick jungle here and save that flex.
Surely.
I guess that could be flexed, right? Well, that's 3-way flex. We thinking that's Pandorum's Mundo mid?
I'm thinking that's a jungle Mundo, but we will see. Lots of flex options on the side for Honmoon right now. Mint seems fairly obvious where at least the first two champions are going. What's the third pick gonna be? Volibear going to come through. Surely that's a jungle pick here. But we
Surely.
will see.
I'm a little bit surprised. Sure, Seraphine could be flexed, but that's a 80% chance it's going to go into the bot lane in some capacity. So you could just pick support, but you're you're confident in Sprite's Gambit's champ pool to make it through to the next round, as we're going to get a Nico ban Jack Span as I'm, can you feel me starting to lose my voice? Jack's Twisted Fate. I feel like we don't see that champion too often in this elo.
We have seen Pandorum pull it out, I believe, this split. Not in a
How'd
stream
it go?
game, but I don't think it went poorly.
Okay. Okay, so
No, you hit a couple yellow cards, let your team kill everyone.
yeah, yellow card and run away, right?
GG's.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really about the ults, you just just a nice ult to set up your team as we get the ASOL pick. We've seen an ASOL go top lane this split. I'm going to say it's not happening here. Surely it's KMZ on the ASOL with the Cho'Gath top in Volibear. Jungle with the big brain support 5th pick. If that's the case, I'm locking in Mint now before I even see the rest of the draft because they know how to draft. That's how you do it. You give your support 5th pick, then you win games. Or somebody else in your team feeds, and then it doesn't really matter as we're going to get the Aurora locked in. I'm going to, surely that's going top, right?
We have seen Pandorum play at mid, but
This spot? Okay. I always played
I
Ari.
feel like, yeah, I know I've seen him play it before. Probably a top lane pick here. We are still waiting on one pick here, Smolder. That makes me think it's Vayne top.
Yeah, you have 4 champions that can go top lane. 5 if you want to get real spicy with it. So, open to some flexing. It has to be Mundo jungle. I think I've seen Vayne jungle before, but I'm going to assume it's going to be Mundo jungle. And the rest you can just put wherever you feel like it, as we're going to get a Rakan support, which I like into a Vayne. If Seraphine can space pretty well, I'm perfectly fine with a Seraphine into a Rakan. Scaling Smolder. So you put Smolder mid lane into the ASOL, right? In theory,
Or
just to match.
you could put Smolder bot lane and scaling with Sivir Rakan. Free stacks off the melee Rakan. Sivir doesn't really have kill threat on you.
It's probably what it is. I don't know. There's not really a ton of bad options that I see. I'm gonna say it's Seraphine support and Mundo jungle, and the other 3. Probably not Aurora's AD carry, but the other options I think are on the board. I think the other team's a little bit more stock standard. Of course, Volley and Cho could flip around, but I'm going to expect it to be Cho top. Yeah, I actually like both drafts. Maybe we can wait. We can wait till we see who's going to go where, I guess. Maybe that'll, that'll matter. I don't know. I'm a big fan. I don't play too many champs in the mid lane, but ASOL is one of the more fun ones to play. And then I like playing Rakan, so... and I like Volibear right now, having one your team as well. So I actually like kind of the stock standard team comp from Mint. I'm also a big fan of flex picks, so I don't know. You see enough to tell me what comp you like better? You want to wait to see who goes where?
I'm probably gonna have to wait to see who goes where to be sure, but if this game goes late, sure, Sivir scales, ASOL scales, but on the other side, you have the Mundo, you have the Vayne, you have the Smolder. I think that late this is going to favor NOH here, and that's going to put some pressure on Mint to get it done early, which could be hard with the Sivir ASOL. I think they scale well, they just get a little bit outscaled. I don't know that Mint can win early with that comp, and I think they just lose late, so I'm rocking NOH.
Oh, it's tough because I like both team comps. So I'm just gonna be different. I'm gonna rock Mint. It's still like game 1. I think it's just a coin toss. I'm not super confident, but I'm also not locked in that NOH is gonna win. So Mint picked red for a reason. They have to at least like red. Maybe it was just for the counter pick, but I still like the Rakan pick. I mean, the question is, can you get to Smolder? I mean, you have a Mundo that's going to frontline. You have Seraphine that's going to be slowing you over the top. Aurora ult slows you, maybe? Or maybe it's just how you build. I don't know. I think I've played that champ all of 0 times, so... but despite only one frontliner, it's still not the easiest team just to run through. Obviously, Rakan will. Volibear's going to try, but... I mean, your damage dealers are stuck in the backline, so... I don't know. I think it could go either way. We'll see if... I don't think... Mint wants to take the early drag fight. Unless it's just kind of free. And especially as NOH should surely have the bot lane push. So NOH should just push bot lane into the first dragon take, I would think. We'll see if Mint wants to give over like 7 kills at the first dragon fight again. But surely not. As we're working through the client bans, we'll see who ends up going where. And I think there's only one game that's been completed so far, or at least reported, as Double Decker's 2-0 win over War Legion. I think looks like Ninjas, Monkeys, Imbian, and Big Baller are still all in their games. And I don't know if at this point that means they're all in game 3, or maybe they just had some, maybe they're at the tail end of game 2. I don't know. We always hope for game 3s, right? At least the ones we're not streaming. I'm okay with streaming a 3-game series. If game 2 is gonna be like game 1, and it goes Mint's way, this will be one of the best series that we've streamed, I'd say. So I expect these two teams to, at least face each other. 50-50 chance they face each other in playoffs. I guess it depends on who has to go through Double Decker. And I feel like the 4th best team spot is still up for grabs. I think if MBN wins 2-0 this week, I would actually slot them into that spot. But
Okay.
we'll have to see. I kind of look at teams whenever they like change their lineup, and I'm only rambling because we're waiting for them to still pick. Teams whenever they change their lineup and then like they're like technically undefeated with that lineup, it's like almost a new team, right? So if they were to win this week, I would forgive them for whatever happened the first 2 weeks, I guess. But as of right now, unless they change in the next 15 seconds, we have a Vayne top, Mundo, Jungle, Aurora, mid, and Smolder. AD carry, which I would make sense. Smolder could have went in any of the lanes because there's not a ton of kill pressure. You have the Sivir, Asol, and Cho'Gath, so I think Smolder, I really like that pick. Vayne makes sense going into the tank. And then Aurora mid is going to be an interesting one. Into Asol, I think you play super aggressive, it's good. But Pandorm usually plays tanks, so I don't know. I think Asol is probably just going to be chilling and scaling. All right, that's enough rambling. Who do you have if you're just looking at the comps? If you're nameplates off.
Yeah, I still like NOH here. Like I mentioned earlier, I think they scale harder, and I don't think that the early game is going to be too much of a problem. But a Smolder, a Vayne, a Mundo, if you don't put those champions down early, they can just take over a game here.
Yeah, I think if nameplate's off and everything, I'd agree with you. I'd copy paste. As long as you just don't get into a big hole early, I think NOH's comp is going to be nasty late. Yeah, maybe you're lacking some range and whatnot, but I don't know. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll probably be slightly behind, but this way you avoid any ads in the game, especially after that game 1, game 2. You don't want to miss some like late game team fight. So we will be right back for game 2.
Welcome to Game 2 between NOH and Mint here in Rivals League. Currently, we have NOH up 1-0. This is the battle of the teams tied for second place. Winner will be all alone in second. And so far, nothing too crazy this time. We saw some strange things happen in Game 1 CB, but Game 2, a little bit more stock and standard start. Everyone going to their lanes. Does look like the jungles will be clearing opposite. Rexcat clearing top to bot. Dibsy going to be clearing bot to top here.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. You got the Rakan with heal. I'm a exhaust enjoyer on Rakan myself, but that's probably the second choice. Heal on Seraphine makes sense. 2 barriers in the Ghost top lane for Vayne. We've seen Storm pilot the Vayne top a lot, I'd say. One of probably has to be like his top 3 or 4 most played champs in Rivals League, right? I don't know, something like that. Maybe if we just happen to see it while it's pulled out, because it's not a lot of people will opt to pull it out in top lane. So we went quite a long ways before we got first blood last game. We'll see if we can break that. I don't remember what it was, like 7 minutes or something. We got the dragon before first kill.
I think it's going to be a little bit faster this game. Probably in that top lane. It seems like, every lane does have the obvious advantage, where teams probably won't be fighting too much here, but we have seen Storm get really aggressive. We've seen DC maybe make some questionable plays in lane, so that's where my first blood money is going.
Yeah, I mean, once again, the jungler's pathing opposite, so no early fights over Scuttle. Can we get an early gank? Last time it was by Rexcat top lane. A little bit different champs this go around. I mean, you can still gank with Volibear. Just a little bit different than the Nocturne J4 we saw game 1. And right on cue, we're going to see it. Muno's going to go through the top jungle, but the Volibear is here, and Key is the target. Has flash and barrier up. Going to opt to use it with the heal. Starhaven can. They get the E up. Is going to get the E. The double E. The barrier is going to come through, but not enough. Evil Fallen and Sprites came in both flashing in that one. I thought for a second maybe Key would save the sums dead to rights, but I think we might have been able to get away if both flashes were not used by the bot side of Mint. So this time I'm going to go around first blood to one of the best players in the league, at least as of right now, in Evil Fallen.
And right on cue, Dibsy just walks in, slaps Dude Caleb with that briefcase and gets the kill. One jungler makes something happen on one side of the map, the other one responds with something on the other. Good cross-map plays. And it is 1-1 here at 4.5 minutes. Neither team getting a huge lead, but both looking fairly good in the early game.
Yeah, a little tough for Dude Caleb there. Couldn't really, didn't really have a choice to get away. Of course, you got to expect the cross map, but just kind of a tough situation. I guess maybe the rule is just don't get super poked down if you know your jungler's pathing away from you. But what do I know? That sounds good on paper. That's the on-paper answer. Is it's just 1-1. And, I mean, a little bit of a CS lead here in the mid lane in favor of the A-Soul. It's not really fair. You can just E the wave and then Q it, I guess. So, see if we get a early dragon attempt. I said it should favor NOH, as they should have the push bot lane, but I guess you could say Mint should have the push mid lane. Maybe. Barely.
they might have the push, but I don't know that you want your ASOL really pushing and roaming right now.
A little bit of a lull. We'll see. I mean, Volibear's down here next to the dragon. I think got spotted out, maybe, on the Tribush ward. Not for sure. We'll see if Volibear wants to try to take it or is going to go for a gank. Will get spotted out here on the Tribush pink ward, so surely should just clear that one. That's a nice little attempt there by Sprite's Gambit to hit Archon W, dash in, dash out to safety. Nice poke from the Sivir. Mundo taking, or attempting to take some top jungle camps away from Rexcat. I think should be able to take the buff here. It's going to cost them a dragon. And so I'm just, I'm out here providing caster curses left and right as Dragon's going to go over to mid.
Right on cue, it looks like Dibsy gonna step up here.
I've seen this one before.
Kill. Rexcat makes something happen on the bot. Dibsy makes something happen on the top. And we are still basically even. Could be a lot of rinse and repeat in this game.
Yeah. I mean, if it keeps going this way, it feels like it favors NOH, unless Volibear can hit a nasty tower dive with the ult, as the Smolder ult is going to hit Casper, and that's just about it. As I mean, sure, you don't usually want your kills to go to your tank, but a fed Mundo is always going to be a tough one to kill, as here comes Rexcat. Does have the ult, but the wave is not pushed yet, and Dibsy is here to cover, so no tower dive going to come through. As Rexcat going to get Seraphine ult. Here comes Dibsy. Star Ravenfire not going to be able to provide much of anything with that mana bar.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they were looking for right there. I don't think there was a lot of kill pressure, but maybe it just convinces the Volibear to walk away.
That's all you really need, right?
Yeah.
Dragon number 1 goes to mint. Grubs. I don't. Why doesn't it doesn't show me the grub timer? But it's up. It's up. It's up there. They're over there.
Huh.
Only shows the Baron timer.
Which, in case anyone was wondering, is in about 11 minutes from now.
That checks out. Get the wave pushed by Dude Caleb. Gonna back. I feel like he started out with a similar stat line last game. This one, I mean, I'd say is not really his fault. What are you gonna do when you get towered over? I guess maybe the answer is don't blind pick Cho'Gath, but it's a little too late for that. Especially when you know Storm can play some of those ranged champions. First move from NOH on to the Void Grubs should surely be free 3 Grubs, as Volibear is a little too far away.
Yeah, Volibear far away. The Cho'Gath really not going to be able to rotate down, so should be pretty free. I mean, every time that cameraman wants to show us to stop the vein, just free firing on this Cho'Gath. Not a whole lot DC can do against Storm in that matchup.
Dibsy is up here once again. Dude Caleb trying to get Storm down low enough to be able to ult, but it's not going to be enough. Storm's range on the vein. Too much to handle from the Cho'Gath. Not able to output enough damage. You had Rexcat there to cover for you, and for some reason you stepped up and fought. Instead, Rexcat going to ult in, going to Bomba on top of this Vayne, can he live? I don't think. Yes, he can. It's going to be a TP coming in from Dude Caleb. So, hey, Dude Caleb did what he needed to do, right? He chunked Storm low enough to be able to get killed by Rexcat. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah. It worked out.
Just a couple of junglers getting some kills, you know?
Maybe would have liked to see Dibsy get at least one of those over to the Vayne, but, you know, a big Mundo can be a big problem, so I don't hate it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot already how they went. I mean, ultimately Storm was tanking the tower, so um, had to step up to chunk down the Cho'Gath, so it was tanking, had to back up. So it is what it is. We have Dragon number 2 about to spawn. We'll see if we can actually get a team fight here. Is 11.5 minutes in, just 5 kills in almost even gold.
Does feel like NOH is a little bit weaker on the bot side of the map right now. So they might just want to give this, but we'll see.
It's always tough if you have a playmaking jungler that's 3-0. I don't think he's going to be okay with just giving this one. As Dibsy wants to go in here. And he's going to be able to steal it. That's why you don't give him up, I guess. And we'll see if we get a fight from Mint. Rakan ulting, but not able to get anything as the flash comes through from Starving Fire.
Yeah, pretty nice steal by Dibsy. Like you said, that's kind of why you look for that to fight it. Don't want to fall too far behind as the Smolder is working on stacks right here.
It's a little bit more of the poke that I assumed we were going to see. I assume Seraphine will probably go mostly the support build. Or sorry, the enchant compared to damage build. Seems to be more typical right now as Storm is duck, dip, dive, and dodge, and Dude Caleb gonna have to back up the Storm. Going to be able to outspace the 2 melee champions. And I don't know if that's the correct game plan for Rexcat to hover top. I understand Dude Caleb's gonna die on repeat, but if you're gonna go up there and die with him, you're definitely not gonna be helping the team. We saw it early as Rexcat was trying to help bot lane, of which most people have, Mint's bot lane as actually the number 1 bot lane. So it made sense that's what they were trying to do, but I mean, NOH came out with a good game plan as maybe they were assuming that was going to be the case of Rexcat kind of hovering bot early. So Dibsy making the smart play to hover top early. And so far it's going NOH's favor.
Yeah, 4-0-1 up CS. Mundo has his heart steal, and it is off to the races for that corporate Mundo.
Wasn't as quick of a jump out to a lead, but once again we see NOH with the early into the, as we get into the mid-game lead. But it only takes 1 fight. We saw it last game. Mint just needs to take 1. You have the scaling mid once again compared to first game. Can they kill Mundo fast enough? Especially if he's, 6-0 by the time they actually get into a team fight. It's going to be a tough one as we get the heart still. Sitting at a solid 35 stack so far. We'll see if I can get a smaller stack count. Wasn't working last time. As it does work this time. It's somewhere on my screen. What, 127?
Yeah, 127 is pretty good for 15 minutes.
What's not good is stepping up into a Rakan as there goes the Seraphine ult. There comes the Smolder ult, and they're going to turn their sights and run. No, Rexcat wants Key. Down goes Key, but Dibsy in the back line, getting tickled by the rest of the team, going to dodge the knockup from Dude, Caleb, Ace-Hole gonna come over the top. KMZ's gonna go down. I think Storm wants it. He's gonna flash forward. He's gonna get the condemn.
Ooh,
And
and get
2-4.
out. Don't often see Storm. Sorry, not Storm specifically. You don't often see a Vayne in between two towers diving to get a kill, but Storm pulls that one off and gets out with his own life.
Even a fight that started with Key looked like stepping up too far, getting knocked up by the Rakan, made the choice to go forward instead of back towards his base, and it ended up working out as, at least for a little bit, baited some of the teammates on the side of Mint to step forward. Rexcat ended up getting the kill onto the Smolder, but baited the team far enough ahead to allow Vayne to get some kills. And now 3-1-3 with a shutdown of his own.
Yeah, it looks like Mint trying to change up the lane assignments here, get the Cho'Gath away from the Vayne.
A little bit of a breather here as we have Dragon coming up in 15 seconds. We're going to get both teams trying to push the mid wave for some prio. I think both waves are just going to get clear. Cho'Gath going to base as we have a fight. Bot lane, really, Asol needs the second item. Shirley's going to be... Our allies putting out some damage with the Q stack over time, but not going to be enough to take down Storm, as Dibsy just wants to walk wherever he pleases. And it's going to use the Rift on a tower that had about 10% HP. That is a choice. It's going to stay alive enough to push that bot lane, so it should be a free second dragon for NOH. As KMZ's controller died. Luckily not right in front of the Vayne there.
Yeah, there was at about 30% HP when it happened. So could have been a quick death, but instead just going to survive, and does look like he is
Well, maybe. We'll see if Riot wants to...
coming back? Question?
We'll see if we resume the game, potentially, as we chill at 0 seconds for a quick second. There we go. Almost broke it as he takes a headbutt from the Rift Herald. And now 2 dragons over to NOH have the gold lead, the kill lead, and we said it early on that it was going to be a tough team to kill a late game. Now, I don't know if you remember, it had to have been, I guess, last split playoffs. It feels like it was like a game 4 or 5 when there was a Vayne against an Asol team. I mean, hell, I would even assume it was a NOH playing, but it felt like that game went largely back and forth. I just don't remember which champ ended up being the big difference maker, if it was the Vayne or the Asol. I felt like it was the Asol, but...
I do remember a game with an Asol just taken over really hard late, but I don't believe that game had a Smolder in it. So,
True.
You know, it's not just the Vayne that's the hard scaling here. It is the Mundo, it is the Smolder. It just feels like a comp that has those 3 champions and has an early lead. It's going to be very difficult to win against.
Yeah, we have a 177 stack count on the Smolder. So, dude, Caleb has his sights on the Aurora, going to be able to dodge it. A nice flash ult from Pandorm with the fancy footwork. Can he do enough damage? Gonna go ahead and shoot Casper right there just for fun, and gonna get taken down. Storm behind enemy lines. I don't think you're gonna be able to outkite this one. Can he take down Eagle Fallen? Almost. The Seraphine ult going to miss. Dibsy fighting the 2 beef balls. Smolder pissed off at his team, gonna just say, screw you guys, I'm going home and stay in mid lane and farm, and the fight's gonna go Mint's way.
Yeah, I mean, Storm maybe a little bit too aggressive there. Shows up, feels like he can save Pandorum, and then they might win the 2v2, but lo and behold, the rest of Mint was there. He just says, screw you guys, I'm getting stacks.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, probably the right call at that point, just because the team fight was already like. I mean, by the time Smolder gets there, he probably does a bunch of nothing. I didn't see who got the kill onto Vayne, if it was Evil Fallen's Sivir or not. But a little bit of a shutdown over to somebody, whoever got that kill. As it was a Sivir. That's chat showing me who got the shutdown. But still a gold lead for NOH. Just kind of a weird fight as Pandorum kind of caught out in no man's land. So I won't take that as a indicative of who is actually stronger, but a lot closer now. And Ace, of course, only going to get stronger. Smolder as well, though. So dude, Caleb.
Smolder at 210 stacks. Should hit that in the next minute or so.
Pandorum, no flash, but does have the ult if has to be used, and it might be too little too late. I thought Shirley was going to use the ult there, but it might just be a 1-for-1.
Yeah, both junglers are just going to kill the solo laners and then walk away.
Dragon up in a minute 15. Got Baron spawn, but I'm going to assume that's not going to get looked at here for a bit, as it's going to be the 4th dragon of the game. Does Mint let NOH get a 3rd one? I'm expecting, based on how all the other fights have went, or most of the team fights have went, is it's going to be a contested dragon. This key is actually going to get chunked down a little bit. You're going to get healed up by the Seraphine. Double W a little bit. Can Storm get caught? I don't think so. At least not by KMZ, but maybe by this Rakan. As there's some CC. Storm's going to flash. No Ghost available, and a lot used for Storm, but I mean, with the dragon coming up in 30, worth it, I guess.
They keep sending 4 or 5 people at the lane Storm is in. They keep getting kills here, and you know, maybe his team needs to do something in a different lane. Maybe Storm needs to not push up so much. Guess it could be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a 20-second venture of running down Storm and getting maybe 15 seconds, but you know, nobody else really in a position to help or do anything with this. Dibsy's going to walk into no man's land. Starting Fire, we're going to get the ult off, but it was really just for fun. As no real damage between a Seraphine and Tank Mundo for the most part, unless you can run somebody down like Dude Caleb. As we have this Holder stacks, the ult's going to come over the top, going to just graze KMZ a little bit. Sprites Gambit going to live. Barely down goes Dude Caleb, and Smolder has not even been breathed on this fight yet. Rakan here able to help if Key wants to keep going. The Storm going.
There's that execute.
There's the X key you've been looking at, and I think Evil Fallen's going to go down here. Barrier used just to be safe by Key. So 2 for 4 overall. Yeah, I mean, with those Smolder stacks available, especially if a team fight's going to go like that, where, I mean, 80% of the fight, no one even looked at Smolder. Going to be tough for Mint to win that one, as we get a nice condemn from Storm onto KMZ. KMZ doesn't have the ult. I was going to say, could potentially, without a condemn, could fly into Storm if you don't want to get real crazy. But I think you're going to need your ult for that one.
Now, Mint did get the dragon in that fight, so they did tie it up 2-2 before losing the team fight.
Rakan going in onto Storm. Storm's going to ult as well, but not enough follow-up from KMZ there. Dibsy, huge frontline. Rexcat going to jump over the top on a Storm. Storm is just about out of mana. Is it going to be enough? Rexcat is strong on this Volibear, but a nice flash heal from Star Raven Fire. Not enough to save Storm, but Rexcat should surely fall. 2 for 1 so far in favor of Mint. Make it a 1 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for 1, and that was a huge shutdown there, I believe, on the Mundo. I think that's the 3rd time in a row where we have just seen Mint overload a side lane, go at whoever is trying to push. It is working for them. They are back in this game. In fact, they're up 300 gold here at 25.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, a nice play by Mint to overload it, but if you're in 08, you have to know you're not winning a team fight without Key. You have to have that Smolder. I mean, sure, your Vayne's kind of strong, your Mundo's obviously tanky, but you have to have the Smolder. Why Smolder's split pushing top lane, that is a question. But it is happening, and that is why Mint now has the gold lead here 26 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, but Smolder got stacks though, right? That's all that matters. Just get more stacks.
Smolder can have 50,000 stacks. If they're going to side lane, it's not going to mean too much. But next team fight, I assume. This yeah. Now they're ready.
Yeah, we were doing it for the next team fight.
Exactly. Now Sivir quietly 5-1-5. Sprite's Gambit 0-1-10. So the bot lane from Mint showing up. You have the ASOL ever scaling 2.5 items. Obviously, yes, the Smolder is scaling, but if ASOL's going to actually be at the team fight, then it's going to matter a little bit more. Dragon in 115. Can we get a fight before that? Maybe. If Dibsy sees anybody, then I would assume so, because just wants to run into people and fight, which that's what we like to see.
That's kind of what Mundo does, so makes sense. Some vision going down from NOH. Resets coming through for their bot lane. Trying to get a couple more components here as this dragon will be contested, I'm sure.
Rexcat looking to start the fight. I don't...
Oh, Storm goes back and...
Storm, can he live this? He's dodging a bunch of stuff, and a ton is used to catch him out. I almost think that... Who was it? Was it Rexcat that started running at him first? Him turning around baited Storm into moving forward. I don't know. I'm assuming he didn't see the rest of the team from Mint. And now this should be a free 28-minute bearing. Third Dragon's going to go over to NOH. But I think if you're Mint, you take those all day.
This has just happened way too many times on repeat. Storm getting caught in the side lane. NOH is going to have to change something because they had a pretty big lead. They have the scaling comp, and it's just not working out for them.
Key doing a ton of damage, but a little bit baited by how low they were able to get Evil falling right into the ASOL ult, and the rest of the team collapsing. So, NOH, I don't know.
Looking a little greedy for kills here. You have Storm going in. You have Key going in.
Yeah, just
these marksmen are not champions that you want to frontline with.
Yeah, the old classic, marksmen. They know they're strong. They know they can output some damage, and their teammates are not starting fights and allowing them to output the damage. So they're just getting a little bored. Just want to get in there and fight. But that's multiple back-to-back plays. It seems a little sloppy by NOH. Just need to figure it out. A little bit more team coordination. And if they're gonna step up in a lane, somebody else on the team has to be pushing another lane, pull some pressure or something. Because every time they get caught out, as Storm may, again, as Sprite's Gambit just barely clips the toenails of Storm there. Questionable knock up. But if you're Sprite's Gambit, you take that 1-1-13 on this Rakan. And a ton of momentum now here for Mint. Still a close-ish game, but we said if it went late game, it was going to favor NOH, but so far it's favoring Mint because NOH keeps getting caught out.
I think NOH is gonna win if they can get a 5v5 here, but their carries keep getting caught.
Seraphine ult hit the jungle or something, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little, looking a little nervy over there by NOH. Definitely don't want to have a repeat of last week where you won game 1, game 2 goes to the other team, and game 3 was just too little too late. Now, let's not overreact. Still a bunch of time. It just seems like they need to just tighten it up a little bit. Dragon in 2.5, so plenty of time to do a bunch of nothing here.
Yeah, and like you said, nothing really to fight for, but it seems like those are the times that NOH is getting caught out. They're just pushing lanes, picking up CS, and getting caught. Right now, the Smolder is gonna have to be careful. They are gonna try to collapse onto him. He is able to flap away.
Really, if you're NOH, you just need a team fight where both Smolder and Dibsy and Seraphine are all there, able to contribute at the same time now. I don't know, Mint is looking very strong now. If Sivir doesn't get touched early on in the team fight pause, and Asol over the top with the 3 items, I don't know, man. Mint looking pretty strong now here in this late game.
They definitely are looking strong. We saw it at that dragon fight, though, the power of Smolder if you cannot get on him. They can get the Smolder free firing. He's just going to take down the HP bar so quickly.
Just needs to be a good front to back from NOH. Seraphine needs to save the ult, unless it's a free pick or something, needs to save the ult for when the Rakan ult comes out. But Sprite's Gambit playing lights out on the Rakan this game, so just nobody wanting to do anything too crazy over the last 2 minutes as we're gonna get this dragon to spawn here in 30 seconds. Now Rexcat ran straight into a Mundo in the bush. Dibsy, per usual, opting to see a champion and just want the fight to the death, as the team is taking their sweet time to come over here and help Dibsy now. Mundo able to chunk out KMZ. The big bomba is available from this Asol. NOH can win a team fight. I mean, look at all the bounties on Mint's team right now.
Yeah, every single person with a bounty. Now, Mundo did
They're
chunk down
split.
KMZ a little bit, but had to use the Mundo ult there, so will not have that available for this 5v5.
Eyes on Storm. He is split off from the team. How is this? Is he going to go around? Are they going to let him? Storm, I guess, wants the Vayne flank. This is surely a massive fight to the death here. Dude Caleb already chunked out now. A fight like this should favor NOH, and down goes Sprite's Gambit right off rip. Who gets the dragon? It's also going to go to the blue side, and now Mint needs to run the big ult from Asol over the top. Rexcat getting kited out by Storm. Can anyone else get caught? Dude Caleb stepping up just for fun. I think he is going to go down. I don't know what that was, but alrighty. KMZ is going to step up, but is able to fly away with the Asol W. So a fight front to back, kind of what is expected with the team comp, going to favor NOH. And so I'm going to like get ahead of it and like proactively anti-jinx this or something of surely NOH now just sends somebody out into La La Land and gets caught out, right? Because that's about how these games have been going after winning a team fight.
Surely. You mentioned it in there, by the way, but NOH got the dragon. That is their soul, by the way. So they will get soul. They will get Baron. Maybe they should have waited 5 seconds so that this Mundo also got Baron. But, you know. You want to secure it, I guess?
They were worried. I think the Jinx rocket was going to come through, so they just wanted to opt to get it out of the way just to be safe. You never know.
Smolder just keeps stacking currently all of the jungle camps. Just telling this Mundo, you don't need it. I need more stacks.
Of course.
It looks like the 1-3-1 is going to be the call here for NOH with the Baron buff.
Yeah, 1-3-1 with jungle on side. We'll see. It looks like they're going to kind of switch it up here. NOH has to know that the front-to-back team fight is the way to go. And instead, Storm's going to just go ahead and walk into everybody. Now, is going to get out for a little bit. Rexcat going to fall. Sprite's Gambit going to fall as well. Is it enough? The TP came through from Pandorum to get into this fight. Dude Caleb is getting chunked. Pandorum still has a lot of health. So does Dibsy. Can they take down the Sivert, though? Dibsy can. Gonna take down one. Gonna take down two. And this Mundo might be too strong. No. Pretty close team fight, but it's going to go in favor of Mint, and I don't know what Storm is doing. He's trying to go to bed or something, but he's going to be here for another 45 minutes if he keeps walking into the jungle.
I mean, we've seen it happen over and over and over in this game. We finally get NOH grouping as 5. They win the 5v5, and for whatever reason, decide to use the Baron as a 1-3-1. And we've seen them 1-3-1 all game every time that they try to do that. Mint has overloaded someone. They have gotten kills. They've turned this game around. They have the gold lead because of that. It just seems like if you're NOH, you just got a 5-man group and push somewhere at this point.
Yeah, at some point you have to say, hey, we won the last 2 full-on team fights front to back. We should maybe try that one more time, but it's a lot easier to do at objectives, I guess. The game kind of just forces you to do it by default, so they just want to wait for Elder again, I guess, as Storm. Why not rinse and repeat? He is level 19, and with Star Raven Fire here, it might be enough. Can he kite? Dude, Caleb is here now. The Ghost is almost available by Storm, and enough resources, reinforcements come. So that time we'll say Storm was baiting and did not get caught out that time.
Yeah, he did have his team there. Star Ravenfire with the save for sure.
Pandorum gonna go in with an ult, going to dip deck down and dodge, but not gonna be able to get close enough to Star Ravenfire. Actually didn't even run close to the surfing. The ult over the top is gonna take KMZ right down to 0 HP, and we have a fight. Sprite's Gambit might be able to live here. And it's just a 2 for 2, but health bars in favor of NOH should be able to push this mid tower. They're gonna go bot tower. Maybe they split it.
This Sivir is still full health, and at 10, 2, and 11 and full build, Evil Fallen is definitely a problem here.
Key just able to get away from that Cho'Gath knockup, so just a little bit of a fight. It's a little nothing too crazy. Is the gold does still favor Mint. What does not favor Mint is this upcoming potentially 5v5 front to back team fight at the Dragon. Now, if you're Mint, do you opt to try to pull NOH out of being able to do a front to back? Do you run down mid and try to push it and then try to turn on them? Do you? I don't know. I mean, what do you suggest for Mint here, as we have the GA on to Key?
Yeah, I think if you can, you would try to pull them, at least get someone on the opposite side of the map here. could try to help you out. Now, a lot of the times, NOH has done that to themselves without having everyone even pull them.
Now you do already have kind of an Elder on your team, as we might have a nasty splash damage coming out from Smolder. Dibsy wants to go in, but that Ace ult E in the middle is, here comes out the ult and a nice 3-man stun, but no follow-up there. Smolder ult hits nobody. Seraphine ult does go over the top. Down goes 2 members of Mint. Down goes the Seraphine, but it's just too much with the Smolder. Somewhat of a front to back, I guess. A nice Ace ult to stun 3 members, but there just wasn't an opportunity to follow up there. And despite being down gold and down kills, that doesn't really mean anything when you're 40 minutes into the game, especially if you have a Smolder on your team. And this, no minions yet, so hey, should surely be the game. But you have 20 seconds, we'll see.
I think it just got to the point where the scaling happens. You have the Mundo, you have the Vayne, you have the Smolder. If you get to 40 minutes, it doesn't really matter what you do. You're just going to win.
Yeah, and that will be a game 2. And I think as far as 2-0 series goes, like that has to have been the closest one that we've ever had. At least as far as back and forth goes.
Yeah, that was it was closer than you would think necessarily. I mean, Evil Fallen putting up 81,000 damage on the Sivir there. That is absolutely wild. Uh, Going 11-3-11 with 80,000 damage and you lose the game. Yikes. Feels a little bad, but, you know, can't really let that Smolder Mundo Vayne comp get to 40 minutes because you see what happens when you do.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, what could they have done like early on in the game to help that? Obviously, it was late game and it was crazy scaling and whatnot. Was it just like Mundo was way too tough to kill? I mean, Mundo led the team in damage. I mean, it's not the craziest thing to see, but just 50k damage on the Mundo was just like in the mid game, just so tough to kill. And even in a few of those late fights, I mean, that one dragon fight was for Soul of Mundo able to just chunk down 2 members by himself. So I don't know. Do you have your jungler hover top a lot more to combat the tower dives? Or maybe it's just they needed something else to come out of whenever Mundo went top and whenever Volibear went bottom. Mint really wasn't able to get too much out of that. And so I don't know. Maybe it's a mix. But yeah, seeing the 81k damage. I mean, Sivert was spitting. Aesol was doing some things. You'd love to see. I mean, Aesol, sure, hard scaling, but I mean, when the game's 41 minutes, how much more time do you need to output more damage? I don't know. Either way, it was a back and forth. They lost by 1 kill, if that even really matters. Gold was pretty much even. And a 41-minute banger, as we're going to have a quick couple-minute interview. I think it's going to be Key. Before we bring him in, who do you have as your series MVP?
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like we had some good performances. We had some maybe performances that weren't so great all over the board. I think both ADCs had a lot of damage, had a lot of kills, but I am actually gonna go with Dibsy on this one. I think back-to-back games really facilitated his team in those fights and gave Key the opportunity to carry the games.
Okay, I think toss a coin. I could probably pick 3 or 4 of them. I'm gonna lean slightly for Storm. I think a lot of those kills early. Obviously, he didn't get Mundo got, but it was set up by Storm, by the poke, by taking the tower aggro. So that really helped him. And then some fancy footwork there. I mean, I guess maybe you lose a point or 2 by getting caught out, or I don't even know if you call it caught out if you just walk into enemy jungle with your eyes closed, but maybe some docking of points there. So pretty close between Storm and Dibsy for me. Not to overlook Key's Smolder and what that provided to the team, the quick stacks. But I'm going to rock Storm. But either way, we're going to have Key for a quick interview as somebody actually pinged me. We're getting there. We're getting there somewhere. So I'm going to find the right chat. Don't move them into the wrong chat. And there we go. oh, sorry. What happened? Yeah. Oh, what a coincidence, Key. Was that you playing that? Or was that Husky playing that music? I don't know, but
What? Oh, that's the entry sound on Discord.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
wild.
Well, congratulations on your 2-0 victory, as real time proven that week 3 was just a fluke, and there was a little bit of overreaction by us, maybe specifically me. Who knows? But took down what most people have as a top 3 team. I think solidifying you guys as the solo number 2 team this week. Obviously, you still have Double Decker in front of you, so it's kind of unfair to have them above you. Who knows? But top 2 team for now. How do you feel coming out of that game? Was that you think the best team? You think you're going to see them in finals? Or what do you think? What do you think after that game?
Um, it's hard to say. I mean, their team is quite literally just pump as much as they can into ADC, and if their ADC can't literally 1v9 the game, the rest of the team has no idea what to do. Like, Acel is just randomly throwing ult in the fight. There's no follow up. Like, you saw like DC sitting top lane, just like sitting under the tower while Storm's just like sitting there and like not interacting at all. And like I know it's really boring gameplay for me, but as long as we just don't do anything bot lane, like you just give gold when you have to, because like you know their jungler's gonna play bot side, you just wait. Like you fall behind maybe 500 to 1,000 gold in the first 20 minutes, but it doesn't matter because the game's just gonna go to the point where you're just full build anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked like their at least early game plan was to send Volibear bot. You guys didn't let them get anything from that, like multiple attempts, and then the counterplay on the other side of Mundo was able to get some stuff done. So yeah, makes sense when you pull out the Smolder. Easy question. I guess you can. I guess probably know the easy answer, but uh, after you finished draft, was there conversation to flip any of those 3 champions between the Vayne, Aurora, and Smolder around, or was it pretty much, it was planned for Smolder to go AD carry the whole time?
I was planned. I picked the Smolder because I knew like it was gonna be the same thing as like game 1 where we're just like sitting there playing under turret, and obviously Smolder has a way better wave clear than Vayne does, but Storm also is undefeated on playing Vayne, and teams just keep letting us pick it. Like we have multiple people that can pilot it, and it's just open every time. So yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer just to kind of pick.
Yeah, especially if the other team's going to lock in a mobile tank. Kind of expected it was gonna be Storm piloting the Vayne. I think of one of the most played champs by him. I think over the couple splits that we've played. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously we see the Evil Fallen crazy amount of damage. Obviously, didn't really translate to a win. So who really cares about damage if your team wins? Um, 2-0 against them. I won't even ask it because it's obviously if you were to replay MBN, I would expect you guys to feel confident beating them. So you're over halfway through the split now. Top 2. Are we feeling good for a back-to-back going on? But as the 3 teams that you haven't played yet, and I don't know all 3 offhand, but is there anybody that you haven't played yet that you're looking forward to, or is it doesn't really matter, just to set them up, knock them down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's gonna be like, oh, like wait for the game between whatever the new rivals branded team is versus us again. But like, I mean, every single split so far of Rivals League, I've made finals. So like, that's the bare minimum. Like, we're gonna be there. So
True.
it's just a matter of just how the bracket plays out and stuff like that. But even last split, we dropped a game against a random team in the first couple of weeks, and then we were like, oh, maybe we don't just like for fun and just like maybe put like a little bit of thinking into stuff, and then yeah, you just 2-0 the teams after.
Fair enough. All right, last question from me, and then I'll let Husky. Sorry, Husky. I'm just rambling over here. Okay, I was like gonna forget my question. Has anybody yet, or will anybody be yelling at Storm for closing his eyes and walking to the jungle like 5 times in a row and getting caught?
I mean, it was mentioned like they're gonna make a play like 50 seconds before the dragon or whatever, and it's typically on Storm, but yeah, I mean, he all you have to do is this is just setting up so you guys can put Storm as second ranked top laner again. So he had to do some things to make it so it could still be justified.
True, true, true. Fair enough.
All right, I think I can finally take over for CB here. Congratulations, you guys looked pretty good tonight. Definitely two great games from you. You guys got leads early. You closed the games down late, but it seemed like you guys threw a couple gold leads, both game one and game two. Any concern about that mid game and what was going on there, or just a fluke? These guys were pretty good. It won't happen again. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, throwing gold leads is like that's something that is very like fixable. I think that when it actually came to like execution and fights and stuff like that, we knew we were gonna win the fight. Both games came down to like one team fight at the end, and it was almost a 5-0 in both games. So it was actually like it does suck that you throw the gold and you want to end the game cleaner, but at the same time, if anyone's been watching like LCK and stuff like that, like those teams do the exact same thing, and it just comes down to just who macros better in the one fight.
All right, all right. And hot take from me, confirm or deny this if you will. MBN better than Mint? Yes or no?
Yeah, Mint is so overrated in my opinion. But that's also just because of the history of the org and stuff like that. But you only have one win condition. There's not multiple win conditions. So whenever you have that on a team, it's like you. It's so easy to shut it down, and we haven't seen much of MBN with their new roster and stuff like that. But I do think that there is potential. I think that they're gonna beat all of the like lower end teams, but I think in an actual like 5 game series, I don't know if they're gonna like have the champ pools and like experience wise to be able to do so. Like I do honestly just think it's just gonna be probably the rivals rebrand team versus us in the finals, just because of experience and knowing how to play 5 game series properly. But we'll have to wait and see.
All right, love to hear it.
All right, that's it from us, Key. Congratulations, and have a good one.
Thank you.
And Husky 2-0 series, but it felt like 3 with how long it went, right? Like I feel like we've had a quicker 3-0 series, but maybe that's also because I was about 20 minutes late. So, but yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna try to get the VOD put up here shortly, and more importantly, to at least the teams that have lost, as I think both other series might still be going on in Game 3. But either way, roster's lock. I'll obviously make an announcement about it before it does, but before next week's matches, roster's lock. So I guess we'll point it out on Tuesday for the run back. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, it was a good night. Will be a good run back. Ready to get back to it. We haven't upset anyone in a couple weeks, so if you're on stream, you're either going to be first or last, probably. Take that as you will. Take it out on CBM Banter Chat. Just remember, any bad rankings you disagree with, we're 100% him.
You say that, but it was it was tossed out as an idea to expose ourselves. But we'll see whether or not we actually want to do that. But yeah, you always get the microscope whenever you play on stream. So I expect some of these players to jump maybe too high and some people to fall too low, but that's just nature of the game. Everybody gets a chance to go through that. But okay, enough for round one for one night. Have a good night. See you on Tuesday.
Have a good one, guys.